My name is Gloria. I'm a first-year full-time MBA here at UCLA Anderson. This is Zhongbo Yao, a junior at UCLA majoring in statistics. So we're the student coordinator for today's private wealth management panel discussion. We'll be focusing on discussion for the evolution of Chinese private wealth market. So we all know that China is now become one of the biggest and important market for private wealth management. We all get a sense of how the richest people in China, the number are growing from Miss Elizabeth Harrington earlier today at Cornhall. So with the economic slowing down in China and also the transition happening back there, and also the stock market volatility, Chinese high net wealth individuals are now increasingly seeking overseas alternatives. So many U.S. Wealth management institutions nowadays are investing in their service platform and also capability to meet the increasing demand. So today, our distinguished panelists will share their insight about the growing trajectory and what does this mean for U.S. institutions.
So now we are delighted to welcome the following distinguished speakers on this panel: Mr. John Allen, Sales Vice President in Trumark Financial; Mr. Joseph Lee, the Senior Vice President, Director of Sales in Cathay Wealth Management; Mr. Tony Yu, the CEO and General Counsel in DSG Business Tax and Wealth Planning. And our panel will be moderated by Mr. Rex Hong. Mix Hong is the Senior VP and Manager of China Business Development Department at Cathay Bank. He coordinates all China-related initiatives within the bank and works closely with Chinese corporations, investors, and high net worth clients to facilitate their financial needs in the United States. So please join me and welcome our moderators and panelists for our first panel discussion.
Great, thank you, Gloria. Thank you. And thank you for being here this afternoon. I do aware we are competing with two other very interesting panels. So our panel is about the private wealth management, the evolution of the China's private wealth market, and what is the developing effective investment strategy for the high net worth individual wealth and the opportunity for the United States. You know, this conference was starting with the first session of report analysis from the Hurun report. Elizabeth gave us a lot of insights about the China high net worth individuals. And also, according to the recent study released by Bain & Company, China is now home of over 1 million high net worth individuals. And 2015, this market has reached the 129 billion Chinese yuan, equivalent to about 65 billion US dollar. And with last year, you all know the stock market in China has been the volatility, and also the economy slowdown has that affect the investment decisions of those high net worth individuals has been changed. I remember Elizabeth mentioned that last year during the Hurun's report, the number one reason for investment in U.S. was coming to U.S. was for the kids' education. But this year, the new survey shows the number one reason is actually the risk diversification. So today we have three very distinguished panelists. Let me start introduction with our first panelist. John Allen has over 25 years of experience in the life insurance and the financial service marketplace. And his expertise in estate, business, retirement, and the foreign national planning has provided financial advice, independent agents, attorneys, and the CPAs with creative solutions by using life insurance in an ever-changing tax environment. This is actually very interesting. We're going to touch that back later. And by using his in-depth knowledge of life insurance, long-term care, and the disability products, as well as his broad access to multiple insurance companies, Alan and his team are able to tailor the optimal solution for each of customers' needs. So this is Alan, and I'll continue with Joseph Lee. Joseph is not only my colleague, but also a good friend. And Joseph has over 35 years experience in private banking and wealth management. And very impressive, he actually started first the Chinese accuracy company in Hawaii and expand the branches to Los Angeles. And after he moved to Los Angeles, he also worked with Citibank and Bank of America with those high net worth individuals, not only from China, but also locally. And before Cathay Bank, he has worked with China Trust Bank, Far East National Bank, and also United Commercial Bank. And also his career has been achieved very successful by those number increase of the revenue by the department he is running. And besides that, and it's not show up on the bio, and Joseph is also actively as a singer in a band. He has his own band. So that will be a very interesting question. We'll want to make you explain to us how you balance that as a musician, as a private banker, and how does that mix the life together. And also we have UCLA alumni, Tony Yu. And Tony is the CEO and the general counsel of DSG Insurance, DSG Business Tax and the Wealth Planning Company. Tony actually has the longest title I ever see, CPA, counsel, and some I can't even remember. I counted, there's 15 titles and the certifications with his, after his name. Let me start with the panel. The first question is, we all know that China, the market is huge, and the people are coming to seeking financial solutions in the United States. So in your career, in your past experience, what do you see are the most popular products and services those high net worth individuals from China are looking for? Can we start with Tony?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for spending your afternoon on a Friday afternoon with us. And thank you for Rex for moderating and Cathay Bank for sponsoring. So my background, I'm a lawyer. I used to be a trust attorney at Holland & Knight, which is the largest trust law firm in the U.S. And then took over my family insurance business. So what I do now is integrate estate planning with insurance. So I'm a lawyer, a CPA, a certified financial planner, and a property casualty underwriter. What that means is I integrate different disciplines into solving the client's problems. And I see, to answer Rex's question, I see the same questions by the foreign national clients all the time. They have three things they're always looking for. Number one is protection. So right? They want to protect their assets. I made all this money, whether it's through bribes or whatever. How do we protect this money? All right? 第二个就是 confidentiality. How do we protect this asset? How do I hide this assets without being confiscated by the government? This is actually a really, really, really big concern. How do we kind of legitimately create difficult paths for the Chinese government to not find this asset? And then the third thing is tax. They want to save taxes, so they want to be tax efficient. So these are the three things I get all the time from the Chinese clients. So in terms of products, to answer Rex's question, I mean, our experts here, insurance products, financial products, annuities, real estate, I mean, it's all pretty common. So nothing in particular, but I just wanted to share with you, from my experience, the objectives is just protecting their principal, confidentiality, and just tax efficiency. That's what they seek all the time.
So everything he mentioned about privacy and tax saving, and also the easy to hide the money, that's what we are talking about. Colombia, remember the offshore product, offshore trust. 20 years ago, when I worked for private banking department in Bank of America, that's my job. We help clients to set up offshore trust. But there's nothing wrong with that. In other words, that's totally legal. The problem is where the money come from, the source of fund. As long as the fund going to, doesn't matter, Cayman Island, whatever, that's legal. And for that country, they don't pay, you don't have to pay tax. So that's totally legal. The problem is where the source of funds. And you want to ask me the difference of Chinese, Taiwanese, and Hong Kong people for high net worth, they come over. Well, for Chinese people, they are very direct. The Chinese investor, they said, what? What you can do for me? What product you want to give me? What? What kind of product? Very direct. For Taiwanese, they are asking how? How you can help me? How you can help me to save the money? And for Hong Kong investor, why? Why I give you the money? I'm using Goldman Sachs. Why I use Cathay Bank? The three questions, very typical. But I think talking about 20 years ago when we working with some private clients in Hong Kong, they asked the same question, what? But now they change, so gradually.
That's very interesting. I feel Joseph gave us a hint that he knows so many secrets. So, John, I know you're working for the True Market. It's more like a wholesaler and provide a service to the financial advisors and the CPAs. So, from your point of view, when you're meeting or providing more service to those financial advisors, do you feel the trend of the incoming from Chinese money? And how do you feel the popularity of those Chinese high net worth individuals are seeking?
Thanks, Rex. Yeah, so I do come from more of the risk management angle when we're in with the client relationships through the people we work with in the banks, the wirehouses, independents. They bring us into the conversation, and we're going to talk about insurance products and why this could fit in the high net worth overall portfolio. And that's really what it is. They're looking for portfolio diversification. They're also looking for political diversification. They're in the wealth curve now where they've established their high net worth and they're looking to protect it. And that's been a problem, especially in the Chinese nationals, is that they're not so sure that it couldn't be taken away from them at any time. And they're looking for other alternatives to move their wealth in other countries and other jurisdictions and other financial products. Interestingly enough, I don't have quite a time frame as Joseph, but years ago, right around the financial crisis and a couple years before, we used to get this same wealth conversation with the Chinese nationals, but the idea was, oh, I don't want to buy a US dollar denominated product. Give me something euro. Give me something Australian dollar dominated. That's where I want to be. I'm looking for that. They'll come and talk about financing an arrangement and using yen financing and forex against the insurance premiums. Very elaborate things where they're looking for returns on their insurance product. Fast forward to today now where these clients are in a wealth position where they're looking to design it to pass it on to other generations and to effectively protect what they've grown. Now they are very much interested in US dollar products. They've come to realize it's a currency that is a worldwide established currency. They're coming to the US, and Tony could talk about this also, and realizing that we have established trust and tax laws that give them security. Many, many years of established tax laws. So when we're talking to our clients or clients of our advisors, they like the idea of our insurance products as a way to accumulate, preserve, and effectively transfer wealth on an estate and income tax-free level.
So, Joseph did mention that, when you're serving those high net worth individuals in the past 35 years, those clients from Taiwan, Hong Kong, and the mainland China right now are different. Chinese ask you, what? So, in my next question is, we all know the opportunity there. How do U.S. financial institutions or service providers get prepared for those customers coming from mainland China? Are we ready for that?
We have a lot of young, I don't know why I'm still here, young, rich people. They are very young, 30 couples. So you have to change your products and every so often, because for young people, definitely, they are not really interested. You prepare some retirement planning. They think it's due 20 years later. So you have to have some products related to what they are interested. We have, for the past few years, we have products like real estate, mutual funds. In other words, instead of, well, they purchase a lot of real estate already, but they are thinking that, I want to diversify, and I want to invest in the real estate market in U.S. But I want to be, I don't want to go with have the loan application again with the bank. So we introduce real estate mutual funds. That's one of the products they're interested. Just like Tony said, they're also very conservative products with guarantee principle, and insurance definitely. And we also have, recently very popular, we call the structured CD. It's a CD, but it's a market link with market, and the guarantee principle. Sometimes, under FDIC, well, of course, FDIC only 250,000. Sometimes you say, I don't care, because I don't care FDIC. But yeah, principal guarantee with link with the market. That's what they're interested in also.
So that's a special interest from mainland Chinese, safety, less risk. Since we have a lot of student audience here, and you guys have such an interesting discussion about the wealth management, do you have any advice for our student audience if they are interested in getting into the financial wealth management industry? How should they prepare for it? I know you have a lot of certifications. Did you get it before the graduation, or that was you get after graduate from UCLA?
So two questions, I guess. So the first question is for some of the students here. If you are planning to get into the wealth management world, I think getting certified is very important, especially as a younger person. That's what people look at, right? I mean, I don't have Joseph or John's wealth of experience, but at least on paper, you can get your foot in the door. So I would say, as a younger person, graduate, strive for degrees, strive for certifications. That gives you some credibility off the bat. And the other question, you're saying, when did I get my stuff? I just studied really hard. I'm not very smart. I'm just average, but I'm willing to work harder than a lot of my peers. That's really what it takes. And there's many people that say, oh, I want to get this, I want to do that, but people talk, but not a lot of action. But I really studied hard. So I got my insurance license when I was 18. Then I went to law school, and during law school I got my CPA license. And then after law school, when I worked at a law firm, I got my CFP license. And then I just kind of accumulated these experiences. And then once you start getting one license, there's a lot of overlap. So it becomes easier and easier. So. Yeah.
So are you going to take any more exams?
No, I'm
more
done.
license?
I'm done.
You're done? Okay.
In the wealth management area, we have two major licenses. One is CFP, Certified Financial Planner, definitely. That's more on the sales side. In other words, they give you a very good, deep introduction and knowledge of products, and also the knowledge of wealth management. Another license is what we call CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. That's more into the technical, how to invest the money. And when I was a student, CFA is kind of like PhD in our field. It's very difficult, 3 parts. But let me tell you, about
now it's a secret.
6 years ago, I visited China Trust in Taiwan. I work for them. They asked me to go over to visit their private banking department. And then they introduced a group of young people. A young lady. I thought it looked like a college student, but actually looked like a high school student. They introduced, this is a CFA. I said, well, are you talking about Taiwan CFA? No, I'm US CFA. I took the exam I said, that's a very difficult exam. She said, oh, in our department we have about 10. They have a lot of CFAs. I think, I want to say is one more thing. I visit China November, right? I visit the bank, some of the bank, they work with Cathay Bank, Hong Kong Bank, Hangzhou Bank, Suzhou Bank, and the Mintai Bank. Let me tell you, they all have very sophisticated, very well-established private banking department. We are not only compete with local bank, we compete with Chinese bank. They really ready they are trying to working with their people also. So it's not saying that, oh, okay, we have over here, they will come over to using us. They are ready already. They are doing a lot of improvements.
That's very interesting.
So,
You actually answered one of my questions. Sorry to interrupt, John. Next question was actually about asking, in your experience, what do you see the difference between the Chinese bank and the American banks providing the private banking service? So you actually touched a little bit. They already have private banking. I think the next step is how we reached out to them and established the relation to work together.
Anything we have here, they pick up right away. Only one thing I have to say that we still have an advantage is U.S. real estate. They cannot provide that. They have to come over to buy real estate over here. Other than that, everything. You mentioned that they pick up just like immediately. But we still have chance to work with them. In other words, they need all the information, and we have, of course, for instance, like we have more experience into offshore products, alternative products. They need we need to work with them. I think that's the suggestion.
Okay, that's good. Hey, so John, I actually have one question for you. You have worked both as independent insurance and finance agent, and also now you're a large financial institution. What do you see the difference?
Well, I think that coincides with your question about how the designations that these people have. I think you also have to develop your centers of influence. And that's the most successful people I work with, develop out their centers of influence, whether it's here domestically in the US, in China, or other relationships they have in Mexico and South America. They've developed these centers of influence, and they become an expert to those people. So it's that synergy of them working together. And that's been the key thing. Now, whether they can develop some of the same strategies or not, that's one thing. With Joseph, I agree that real estate is fine. All the ones that I work with, either in the resident alien or the foreign national market, we do have a product and pricing advantage worldwide that the high net worth individuals are looking for. We have mortality assumptions in our products and pricing assumptions in our products that are 30% less than they are getting in their domestic products. So our high net worth individuals have the resources to be able to come over here, seek advice, and buy these products and real estate, where the lower income individuals are still going to buy the domestic products over there and work with their local banks. So, improve your financial sophistication here, translate it to your centers of influence there. They know what they're doing in their home country. You know what you're doing in your home country. You're going to be able to cross-pollinate your practices. And that's whether they're independent or wirehouse guys, those are the most successful people. I've seen plenty of them with all the degrees, never get anywhere in the financial representative business, being an advisor, because they have nobody to advise to. So the key is to develop your channel. Even the banking relationship isn't going to provide you with clients. They're expecting you to develop your book of business.
That's right. So that's actually bring up my next question. When you're talking with meeting with a lot of Chinese clients, in China, everyone talking about the relationship, 关系网. So when you are, in the United States, when you cross the Pacific talking to new clients, how do you build the trust and to start a relationship? Do you play music, sing? You want to share some story with us?
The Chinese high net worth clients, I work with them 24/7. Well, my age, I don't sleep too much, so they can call me anytime. My cell phone is I think you have to build up a trust. They don't bother you, but sometimes they need you. You have to help them. Well, they understand your time. But you have to. I try to answer the phone because they're high net worth. I have to do that every day.
So last time you didn't pick up my call
Oh.
because I wasn't having much enough.
Caller ID.
Right.
If you don't know, I cannot know everything. When they ask me something, I say, I don't know. I'll check for you. They really appreciate that. And the next day, I will give them information. Well, if you're not, and then I will say, I'm still checking. You cannot just say, oh, no problem. I never say no problem. The reason is that's been problem. They very smart. Remember, they are very smart. They're a smart person. And you have to build up trust. And when you try to introduce something, you give advice, not selling products. In other words, you don't just say, this is good. You advise them. This is based on your requirement. this is other products or this is service, I can introduce to you. You make decision. And they have question, I check for you. I think that's very important. I think doing the same thing, just like you work with US, American customers, same thing, local customer. Trust is very important. And you want to build up that, and they will follow you all the time. They follow you from China Trust to here, to Cathay Bank.
Thank
True.
you.
It's true.
So, Tony, you want to do it?
Actually, can I take a step back to the earlier point about I graduated UCLA, so I wanted to spend a couple more minutes about sharing a message to the MBA students and undergrad students here, because I think I understand what you're going through. A couple things is, number one is I think you really need to understand your personality. Okay, are you a salesperson type or are you analytical type? Just 要了解自己. Okay, don't force yourself to do something you're not comfortable doing, or else you'll hate it, right? So just really understand what type of person you are and be happy with it. Just go that route. And number two is, I know everybody's interviewing and trying to go for a big firm. Your value is not tied to how big your firm is. Okay? Yeah, when you're younger, you're like, I'm a big firm, I'm Goldman Sachs, I'm the best, I'm super important. But as you get older, you realize that your value is what's in here, your trust, your knowledge, all that stuff. And it took me a long time to understand that. I was at the largest law firm. I came out, took over my family insurance business, 10 people, and then it's like really small. And I kind of went through some traumatic experiences trying to understand what my value is. But now I realize it's really just, as much as you can try to remember is, as you get older, just realize your value, your skill set, your self-worth is not tied to the firm. As you improve and you prove yourself, your value will increase. And also the last thing I want to say is when you interview, when you talk to the firms, improve your strength, right? So getting certifications, taking certain classes, you have to sell something that those firms want. So just focus on these things. I know it's hard. It's really hard to find jobs these days, but know yourself, know your strength. Your value is not tied to a big firm. Just want to share that with you guys.
So, can you add one more story about the customer experience?
I think Joseph is totally right. Just trust. I think one of the things I struggle with is I came out leaving the law firm world and I thought I was the best. I was like, this financial world, insurance world, like, I'm so smart and so educated, whatever. But then I couldn't lock in the big clients because they don't trust me yet. I thought I can use my brain to convince them, but at the end of the day, it's not. It's our relationship. Just like John said, who's your center of influence and all that stuff. So I would say just proving yourself, picking up the phone, being reliable, 讲话算话, right? Everything you promise, you deliver. I mean, these very basic concepts, all right? No matter if you have MBA, CFA, whatever, it comes back to if you promise somebody, you get it done. I mean, stuff like that.
Right.
That's how you build trust.
That's right.
Yeah, I see my friend Jean. Jean's a very famous CPA here. Jean's nodding. I mean, she has tons of really big clients. The clients love her and they trust her just through everything that you do.
That's right, and 24/7 as well. So, John, do you have anything to add? Okay.
I think right. Chinese said, 知之谓知之，不知谓不知，是知也。Oh my God! It's very important. When you don't know, if they ask you something, if you don't know, you have to say, I don't know. That's okay. You never pretend you know. They are smart. But it's okay. I don't know. I'll check for you. That's very important. Just one time. If you lie, then they are not going to trust you. That's my advice.
Please join me. Thank you for our wonderful panelists.